My name is Eric Noriega. I'm attending MIT, currently a sophomore, studying AI and business analytics as a double major. I did the AI and finance project, and when I first learned about Inspirit AI, that project specifically is what drew me in because at the time I was actually thinking of being a finance major, but I still wanted to do something tech related. So I thought this would be a perfect opportunity for me to explore it. And I had a little bit of experience with Python, but nothing with any of like the AI packages that we use, like Pandas or NumPy. So it was good to have that exposure. And I hadn't used Google Colab before. I know the analogous version of that a lot of people sometimes use is Jupyter Notebooks. I hadn't used that either. So in one of my classes or in one of the research positions I did last year, when they pulled up Jupyter Notebooks, I was like, oh, this looks familiar. Like, okay, I actually know how to use this. I don't have to worry about this anymore. But I think that exposure for as short of a time was as it was pushed me to, well, it only furthered my interest in the field. And so by the time I got my decisions, I knew like I wasn't going to study finance anymore. I wanted something more tech related. And so that ended up leading me to the double major that I'm currently doing. I remember specifically actually for my applications to UPenn and MIT, I talked about the AI Scholars Program, possibly some other schools. So those are just the two that stick out to me. And essentially what I talked about was um mainly for the why us essays or like why this major sort of essay. And so I talked about classes that I was interested in at those universities within finance, but I picked more quantitative focused finance classes, and I related how what I could learn from this relates to the experience I had with Inspirit AI, allowing me to delve deeper into the topic and explore this interest of mine even further and ideally making a career out of it. But I think it allowed me to tailor my application to quantitative finance, which at the end of the day is what I was more interested in. So it allowed me to showcase an interest in the more quantitative side of things. I'll start with career experience because I put the AI Scholars Program on my resume, and I've been asked about it quite a lot during behavioral interviews. So being able to talk about the project that we did combining NLP with finance has been, I'd say, really helpful. And just all the recruiters or interviewers that I've had seem to have really enjoyed what I have to say about it. And I did a program rather recently with Hudson River Trading, and we did something somewhat similar where we were looking at financial news headlines and trying to determine like what does this say about X stocks, right? And it was pretty similar to what we did in AI Scholar. So having that experience and having that intuition about financial markets really helped me there. In terms of schooling, definitely seeing the Python ahead of time, like in high school, kind of prepped me for the intro class. And then I haven't taken too many programming heavy classes yet, like besides like the introduction one. But next semester I am taking machine learning. So I'm curious to see if any of the topics I know for a fact some of the topics are going to be brought up again, right? And I'm curious to see like how well like how much of a difference it is, right? How further in depth they go throughout the semester. Every prompt, every essay that you write is, think of it as like a page in your story. And if you put all the pages in your story together, it paints a picture of you as a person. What do you want the university to know about you? What type of person are you? What are the issues in the world that you care about? How do you want to contribute to the world around you? And by the time they've read all the pages in your story, they should have a really good idea of who you currently are and who you want to become during your time in college. And I think that's probably the most important thing because the essays, I'd argue, are kind of what make or break certain people's applications.